to Formula One 2019. We're here at the SUZUkA circuit here in Japan. A 20 driver grid ready to go for tonight's 18-minute qualifying session and 50% length race. We're starting about 5 minutes early, but that's good. We get these things done quicker and ready to move on with our lives. The track is open for business here in qualifying, and let's get to it. So out on the track, making his first start of the season, but just made a start a few weeks back in Monaco and already exploring in the grass. We have Luis in the racing point, welcoming him back into racing competition for probably this week and not many more weeks in the future. As around he goes at the end of the S's. Damaged the wing, but did not break it off. He definitely, no point in him trying to run a lap with that wing. Already off in the grass and gravel, letting the cars go by. So, out on outlaps we have Christian and Luis, many things, Pillars, Freddie, Hector, Steven, David, Malenko in for Markle, Colton, Foursquare, and Brian. It is a busy circuit. We only have Dan, Volcanic, Ryan, Ben, Octane, and Larry waiting in the pits. Again, Larry making a return back to racing as well. Made a few starts last season, and that's all she wrote. So drivers getting on it with it. We have a racing point of Hector coming off back-to-back wins. There's an Alfa Romeo. Coming off back-to-back wins, trying to go 3 in a row in his first 4 Grand Prix of his career and this season. We'll see how he fares. He's right on board at the end of the S's now. We go through turn 8 and 9, the double right-hander, and we go up to the hairpin, turns 10 and 11. Slow car up here, that's Troy letting him through. And now he'll be up the gears we go. As he right through turn 12 and disqualified from the session already. Ready for going the wrong way. I think he was just trying to get back going.
That was some bullshit.
Well, at least it's qualifying. Nice, Ben.
Thank you, Ben.
Right, anyway, Pillars sets the fastest lap, a 1:30.036. David goes second quickest, a 1:31.310. Here comes Hector to the line, a 1:28.651. That's top of the charts. Next we have a couple McLarens rounding the final corners. Malenko on a timed lap as he ends sector 3 to the start-finish line. Brian goes 4th quickest. Malenko second quickest, a 1:29.559 in that McLaren. McLaren second and 5th out of the 5 so far. A racing point crosses the line. That's Steven going 4th quickest. Now we have a Mercedes coming to the line. That is Colton. That is not a actual timed lap. We have a Red Bull Joyas, and many things forgets what a brake pedal is. What in the world was that? He almost annihilated the Mercedes of Troy. And Rolla did go 3rd quickest, Foursquare 5th quickest. Oh, contact in turn 8. Around goes the racing point of Steven. contact just loose and scaring drivers. Up to 10 drivers on the time sheet. Next we have Troy in the Mercedes. He's been getting straight podiums this season. Actually, I believe 3 straight third place. Trying to... No, he's got 2 second place finishes and a third on the season. But 3 straight podiums. Trying to continue that streak, and maybe on the top step is loose through the spoon curve, trying to keep the car under control, but it's probably going to be an abortion of his lap. Well, he aborted the lap, and Rollo almost into the back of the Mercedes. On the power, trying to get another lap. And Rollo with a purple sector 2, trying to see what he can do here into the chicane and onto the front straightaway. Rollo into the pit lane. He had a purple sector 2 also. Wow. Octane. Sorry, he's not set a lap time, but Troy goes 11th quickest. He aborted his lap time, is going again. Also watching Octane on a timed lap. Rounding the S curves that everybody loves so much here at the SUZUkA circuit.
Nuestra mejor vuelta hasta ahora es 1:29,6.
What track isn't he?
Aviso al box, sale el coche.
Anyway, here comes Octane through turn 12 on his way to Spoon. We also have on outlaps now Hector, Pillars, Brian, Luis, Many Things, Dan, Ryan, Ben, all on outlaps. Rest of the grid is either in the pits unless they are Octane, Volcanic, or Troy. All setting timed laps as Octane comes through the final corner into the start-finish line. Octane goes 5th quickest in the Haas. Troy goes 2nd quickest, a 1:29.127. And now on board with the Ferrari through 1:30R we go with Volcanic. Coming off a 6th place finish last week in Abu Dhabi. Seeing what he can do here in Japan. To the start-finish line, he comes 9th out of 13 on the chart. Have another go later in the session. On board with Luis, trying to get his first time lap in of the season. Seeing if he can keep the car under control. So Brian, Ben, also setting laps, and around goes Luis. He went wide through turn 8. How about Ryan through Spoonie going wide through Spoon, and around goes the Haas of Ryan. Now on board with the Williams of Ben as he heads up to the Spoon curb. Comes Ben into the final chicane. What lap time can he put up on the chart with 8 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in this qualifying session? Ben will go 3rd quickest, a 1:29.212, our defending series champ. Having another go. He spun on the lap, but it's a 1:42 at the bottom of the chart. We'll see him going again. How about Many Things in the Red Bull? The Hector improves on his time to a 128.401. Just under 8 minutes remaining. Rolo goes 6th quickest over Octane. We have no, he's on a cooldown. I don't believe he is. Many Things goes 10th quickest. No, he's on a cooldown lap.
Nos quedan 2 vueltas de combustible.
Christian going 8th quickest in that Toro Rosso. We have Dan on an out lap. Larry's still in the pit lane. So Hector's improved on his time. Then we have 5 drivers in the 129 bracket. Then another 5 drivers in the 130 bracket. And then another 3 drivers with 131s. Oh, and the Racing Point of Luis has retired from the session. Ryan improves to a 115. I'm sorry, a 15th position, 131.854. How about Rolo in the Renault on a flyer up the hill to 130R he goes. Start-finish line. Here comes Renault. 3rd quickest for Rolo. A 129.191. About the Red Bull Foursquare. I've assumed he's getting ready to go on a flyer. So he will not be going on a flyer. On board the Mercedes Colton going at it. Welcoming the 6 viewers right now on the YouTube live stream. And number 3 on Facebook. Oh, there is a huge gaggle of cars coming through turn 1. And Volcanic's Ferrari is leading a Racing Point. The Toro Rosso, oh, I'm sorry, I believe that's a Williams. That is a Williams, and the McLaren. Up through 130R. What can he do as he approaches the chicane? And to the start-finish line goes 8th quickest in the Mercedes. About Dan coming to the start-finish line, nothing to write home about. He'll go 17th quickest. On board of Troy in the Mercedes. It's at 2nd right now, trying to bust into the 128 bracket. 3.5 minutes remain.
Nuestra mejor vuelta hasta ahora es 1 minuto 29,1. Espera.
up through 130R. It looks like he's aborting his lap as he was already trending in the red at that sector line. Here comes Ben approaching many things. He's about to start a flyer. Ben on a flyer. To the start finish line. It's looking good. It's second quickest. A 128.596. Many things taking the scenic route on his flying lap. Here comes Hector trying to improve upon this. No, he's heading into the pit lane. On board with Malico into the McLaren. Now with Foursquare. Into the S-curves. In the Red Bull. Right now, Sat 7th. David up to 8th quickest. How about a double point starting position for the Williams? For the time being. A little bit of a lockup from the Red Bull into the hairpin. Shrug that one off. Teammates have to wait for each other. Oh, and pits. Yeah, I'm not gonna make it. Anyway, Foursquare coming through the final corner. To the start-finish line, trying to improve from 7. Improves, but not a position. There's many things on a flyer. Many things sat 14th. Trying to keep the car under control and trying not to start in the middle of the storm as Ryan many things his way. Oh, that was sketchy and scary, but many things goes through. No problem. Oh, and around goes the Red Bull anyway. Please, if you're on a lap or you're not gonna finish, if you're trying to head into the pit lane, don't. Go ahead and cross the start-finish line. I don't think we have any more flying laps under us. Larry did not set a timed lap. And Rolla headed into the oh well. Foursquare is coming into the pit lane. No. No. Going out, you can't back up. It's whatever. And Christian! Oh, we gotta leave Christian too. Why don't we? So as the qualifying session comes to a close, it's Hector, Ben in the 128s, then it's 4 drivers in 129s, another 5 drivers, 6, 7, 8 drivers in the 130s, Ryan a 131. All right. So this is going to do it here for qualifying, and because we're starting early, we're gonna probably get this Grand Prix underway before 7:25 Eastern time, which is good. Hector, Ben, row 1, Pillars, Troy, Rolo, Malenko, Foursquare, David, Holton, Octane make out your top 10. And Hector looking strong already here at the beginning. Oh, it looks like many things has a steering issue. You almost wiped out a Mercedes. What was that? Anyway, we have a 27 lapper on our hands, but these drivers, as they prepare for that 27 lapper, before that they embark on the all-important formation lap around this SUZUkA International Racing Course. He is. Destroy him. Got it. Please and thank you. Anyway, here we go. The 20 drivers, they're gridded up and ready to go. Let's roll on the formation lap.
Vale, vamos a meterle temperatura al coche en esta carrera. Estamos comprobando las marchas, así que pasa por todas si puedes.
Alright, so let's do this. Our running order, our starting order here, row 1, we have Hector in the Alfa Romeo coming off of back-to-back wins. Can he go 3 in a row? Our defending series champion, Inva Williams, Ben, will start alongside of him. Row 2, we have already a one-time race winner out of the 3 Grand Prix this season is Pillars, starting 3rd in that Ferrari. And alongside of him, Troy in that Mercedes is 3 straight podiums. Can he finish on the top step today? Row 3 will have Rolo in Loretto, has had very strong runnings when he's been able to run incident free. Can he go today incident free? And starting alongside of him, Malenko in for Markle once again. Can he get another points paying position for the McLaren? Row 4. Row 4 we have the Red Bull of Foursquare and the Williams of David. Row 5, we have the Mercedes of Colton and the Haas of Octane. Can he squeeze out a top 10 run? He's been deserving of it this season thus far. Row 6, we have Christian in the Toro Rosso and Steven in the Racing Point. Row 7, we have Volcanic in the Ferrari and many things in the Red Bull. Row 8, we have Ryan in the Haas and Brian in the McLaren. Row 9, we have Dan in the Alfa Romeo and Luis in the Racing Point. And rounding out the final row, we have Larry in the Renault and Freddie in the Toro Rosso. As the drivers come up to the grid and get ready to grid up, a little bit of a run-in on the formation lap, but apparently they sorted that one out in the chat. That is an interesting place to settle something in real time. But here we go. The 20 drivers are gridding up, and we're getting ready to go. It is time to bring the action, because... Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. We've got 5 red lights, and it is lights out, and away we go. The 20 driver grid roars into turn number 1 as they'll have to face the curves at race speed. Side by side, Ben going to the point, the Alfa Romeo going wide. Troy up in the second. Now can Hector get to his inside? Hector breaks smart through the first S as everybody's single file already. Everybody's singling it out through the field. Oh, there's a Racing Point going wide. Further back in the pack, that's Luis. trying not to get into an incident, and he is clear. Everybody single file as we head through turns 8 and 9. Ben in the point over Troy, Hector, Pillars, Rolo, Malenko, Foursquare, David, Octane. Many things the top 10. Many things up 4 spots from where he started. Meanwhile, Christian down 6, Colton down 3.
Vale, hemos terminado la fase de inicio. Sigamos trabajando.
And the Alfa Romeo going at it with Christian. Dan and Christian, they make contact. The round goes Christian. Dan goes wide. And there goes Larry right through it. Luis follows through. Freddie in between the Alfa Romeo and Vittorio Rosso. Huge melee up here. Hector in third. Hector had contact with somebody. As everybody queued up here, there's a 5-second speeding penalty for the Toro Rosso. Freddie's in the pit lane sped. They had everybody queued up. Now the Ferrari of Pillars has everybody queued up behind him. Few drivers starting on the mediums like Ryan, Brian, Dan, and Luis. Caution in the first sector is Luis.
Bandera verde.
Oh, Colton and Brian had another incident. They came off of an incident last week that was kind of controversial between the two, and they were unrelated. They just spun in the same corner. Unrelated incidents. Back up front, Ben has a 4/10 of a second lead over Troy. If we come to the end of lap 2, that means DRS will be available starting lap number 3. Ben with the fastest lap, Hector with the fastest lap, a 132.946. Rolo up into the 4th position over the Ferrari of Pillars. And how about Malenko hanging tough up here with the faster of the field. Very competitive up here near the front. Different drivers from different racing backgrounds and different levels of talent all up here, but everybody showing speed. And around goes the Haas of Octane in the grass. Want to get a little mowing in this weekend. And around goes the Williams, that's David. Larry up into the 13th position, being clean after starting 19th. The Red Bull Foursquare made his way around the McLaren of Malenko. Still has the wing intact, so looks like all is well. Caution in sector 2. Looks like it's a racing point, or I'm sorry, now for Romeo, Dan. Luis has been in and out of the pit lane. And Hector sets an even faster lap. How about a 132.657? As up front, it is about to get hectic. The top 3 have DRS on one another. Here we go. 3 of the fastest going at it. Ben, our defending series champion. Troy, familiar with all sorts of racing backgrounds, and Hector, our point leader, going at it here at the Suzuka circuit.
Tienen blandos desgastados. Los neumáticos llevan 3 vueltas. El último tiempo de vuelta ha sido
Ben holding his own as Hector pulling closer and closer to the Mercedes of Troy. through Spoon we go. Troy trying to get a higher line through the end of the Spoon curve to try to get a good run up here down this old French straightaway and on his way to 130R. 130R, a high-speed, flat-out left-hander. Here we go into the chicane. Hector piling on the pressure on the Mercedes. Many things up to 8th over Volcanic. Volcanic going wide through 130R. Side by side, the Ferrari and the Red Bull. Slightly touch, if any. Back up front, Troy holding his own over Hector. That's Pillars and Foursquare going at it. Pillars holds on to 5th over Foursquare. Here you have a Ferrari, a Red Bull, and a McLaren all queued up together. Pillars, Foursquare, Malenko having at it. Further back, we have Many Things Volcanic and Steven. We have little triplets all up and down the grid order. Rolo kind of in no man's land between the front trio and the middle trio up here in the top 10. There's a caution in sector 2.
Vale, despejado.
So that gets to another racing point. That's Luis. Dan further down the order, 17th up around the Mercedes. Caution in sector 2. Round goes to McLaren, down to order, that's Malenko. Probably went wide in Spoon. Up the hill to 130R half slipstream. How about Troy, the fastest lap of 132.598. Somebody's gone straight off. I believe that might be Luis letting drivers through here. That is him. Understanding the situation, being smart about letting drivers through. Back up front, the top 3 separated by 1 second. How about Troy on the gearbox of the Williams? Trying to pile on the pressure on Ben, and a 5-second time penalty for Christian once again for speeding into the pit lane. We work lap 6 of 27 here at the SUZUKA circuit. About that run through turn 8. Troy right on the gearbox. The is getting close to the inside here on the hairpin. He doesn't do so. A 3-second time penalty for the Ferrari Pillars for multiple warnings. Right now battling the Red Bull Foursquare for the 5th position. Troy is there, but doesn't really have the opportunity as somebody's in the dirt. That's a Haas. That's Octane going around. A severe collision with David. Octane was trying to get out of the way to Williams and not in time. It has some wing damage and it goes up to 13th. How about Larry into 12th? Making his return again. Started 19th on the grid and hasn't been in an incident yet. Just kind of running his race and avoiding all the incidents that happen in front of him. How about this queue of cars up here? Malenko on Volcanic. Malenko in Volcanic. No.
Recibido, te esperamos en el pit al final de esta vuelta.
Hey, you fit right in. And Malenko going wide keeps the car on the pavement. Here comes Volcanic looking to have a go at Malenko.
Va a 5,6 segundos. Tienen blandos desgastados. Los neumáticos llevan 6 vueltas. El último tiempo de
back up front, Hector piling on the pressure on the Mercedes of Troy now. Can he get something done heading into the chicane? Up the hill to 130R. Troy trying to break the slipstream. Here we go, the flat-out left-hander. Beautiful. Caution in sector 1. That is a Williams going around. That's David. 19th
Nos
position
acercamos
on
a
the
la
hard
ventana
along
de
with
parada en
Colton.
boxes. Vamos a ponerte duros.
How about Troy on the gearbox? Oh, almost contact with the Williams.
7 segundos.
He's trying to examine and take some info for his team. All up in the gearbox. Has been able to pull away a little bit. Probably Troy had to get out of the rhythm a little bit.
Bandera verde. El coche que llevamos delante nos saca 3,1 segundos.
Oh, here comes Steven piling on the pressure on Malenko. McLaren v Racing Point going at it for 8th as we come out of the S curves on the way to turn 8. Oh, a huge lag for Steven. Lag all the way back to the 10th position.
Le sacamos 6,0 segundos. Tienen blandos desgastados. Los neumáticos se llevan 7 vueltas. El último tiempo de vuelta ha sido 33,6.
I've never seen someone just lag back in line. And not lag back forward. Another 5-second time penalty for speeding into the pit lane for Christian. My goodness. I think he was just trying to serve the penalty and it not looking good. David into the pit lane. David did not speed. About Pillars and Foursquare going. No, they just were able to pass Rollos. He's in the pit lane now. Rollo will merge into traffic in the 11th position. There's a large gap between 11th and 12th. Then that is the end of the racing point. Maybe we can make it back in and regain control. That racing point will probably be going AI. Malenko back up to many things. Still hasn't been able to have a go at many things. The top 3 still where they are. Hector into the pit lane. Rain is on the radar around the SUZUKA circuit. Does it come before the end of the Grand Prix is a question. About Pillars into the pit lane. Will the track get wet enough for these drivers have to switch tires? Is another question. Hector's going to come out in front of Malenko and many things going at it for position. Rollo on fresh tires up to the Ferrari of Volcanic. See how he navigates connectivity. He's made it through the racing point with Steven. And around goes Steven. I guess he just lagged out of the party and is continuing in control of that car. Oh, and the Ferrari going through him. Pillars had nowhere to go. Steven lagging big time. That might cost Pillars as Larry, I think, went into gravel. Try to avoid what's going on. Sorry, he's further back in the order. I think Ryan went into gravel. And that really sacrificed some time out of Pillars. Luis has gone off the track, letting Larry through. Larry approaching David. There's a caution in sector 2 again. Luis actually just letting drivers through. How about Ben into the pit lane? Troy taking over the race lead in that Mercedes.
coche de seguridad
And
virtual.
Ferrari has
Coche de
retired from the
seguridad
session.
virtual. Reduce la
And a
velocidad
virtual safety car
inmediatamente y
deployed.
mantén una delta positiva.
Trying to avoid the Red Bull was volcanic. Not sure if there's any contact.
CSV acabando. Enseguida sacan la bandera verde. Mantén la delta positiva hasta las banderas verdes. Baja la velocidad. Nuestra delta es demasiado baja.
And we are
Nos
green,
arriesgamos a que nos
green,
penalicen.
back to
Reduce el
racing
ritmo
here at
inmediatamente.
SUZUkA, and a 5-second penalty for Octane speeding into the pit lane. Wow, Pit Road is handing out the speeding penalties like no other.
No sobra combustible
Yeah,
para
they
una
must have
vuelta.
a
Objetivo de combustible más
Popper down
uno.
there with a radar gun. These guys are getting busted like crazy.
Tienen medios recién puestos. Los neumáticos llevan una vuelta. El último tiempo de vuelta ha sido 1:52,2.
That really sucks for Volcanic. He just came off of a 6th place finish at Abu Dhabi. A 3-second time penalty for Brian for multiple warnings. Troy did make it into pit road without speeding. Medium's on and away he goes. Foursquare still out there on the softs. Here he goes into the pit lane. Can he make it to pit road speed? He did. Almost like an extreme sport seeing these guys make it to pit road speed after the way it's gone today.
Tienen medios
Medium's
recién
on and down
puestos.
away
El
he
último tiempo
goes.
de
How
vuelta
about
ha sido
Ryan out there on the medium? So he's
1:42,2.
probably
Prueba cuatro.
transitioning to the
Estás
soft later, or
alcanzando
maybe
más de
trying to
5
go
segundos por
until
vuelta.
the
Sigue
potential
así.
rain. But we will see how that works out for him. Foursquare's going to be coming out in the 8th position. How about Malik on fresh mediums? I get the Foursquare yet, but he'll be up to speed as Foursquare will try to get up to speed. Larry into the pit lane, a fresh set of mediums, and away he goes. Back up front, Ben has a 1.3 second lead over Hector. 3.7 seconds Hector has over Troy. A 5-second lead amongst the top 3. Caution in sectors 1 and 2, that's a Mercedes. Sorry, not a Mercedes, that was a Toro Rosso.
El coche de delante va a 4,3 segundos.
And a 132.290 on the mediums for the Alfa Romeo of Hector. Oh, Ben almost going wide. Very aggressive through turn 8. As Hector is pushing and is on the attack on the Williams.
Te quedan unas vueltas sin lluvia aún, pero llegará. Ten cuidado. Los secos parecen los neumáticos más rápidos ahora.
How about Hector now on the gearbox to the inside of the Williams he goes. A 132.063 on the mediums, a clear to the race lead. And Now can he get back at the Alfa Romeo? About 4 squared that Red Bull, closing up on Steven. Steven on 13 lap old softs. Managing that tire life pretty nicely. A while since I've seen softs go that long. Octane to 13th over Larry. That's further down the running order. Pass over Renault. That happened on the front straightaway. How about Hector? A 131.947. He's getting fast, but here comes Ben. A huge slipstream and a huge run with the DRS to the outside. Hector gets to the grass. He's loose. Ben goes right under. Well played by Ben to try to get that Alfa Romeo to make a mistake, and that's exactly how Ben retook the race lead. Steven into the pit lane now on those 14 lap old softs. Plus however many laps he had on in qualifying with those softs. So on to the mediums he goes. Mediums, he should be good to the end, possibly, and if there's potential rain, well into the good if there is enough water on the track to warrant a tire change to a wet compound. That either being the intermediates or the heavy wets. So Ben in the race lead. Will Hector have another go? Will Hector have a go this lap is another question. We'll have DRS, the gap's about 5/10 of a second. Using the slipstream, there's a caution in sector 1, that's a racing point going around, possibly Luis. Hector did not have a go that time down the front straightaway, was too far back. But is sizing Ben up for another one in the coming laps. Gap still 5/10 of a second. We'll look further down the running order. Choice at third. Rolo 4th. How about Pillars in 5th? Ryan with 15 lap old mediums in 6th. Trying to go as long as he can on those mediums. 4 scored. Around goes the racing point. That one is Steven, not Luis. Let's take out the sign as well. And Pillars has left the session, so that Ferrari will become AI.
Lo tenemos a 10,3 segundos.
Another
medios
spin
desgastados.
for the
Los
racing
neumáticos
point.
llevan 6
Appears to
vueltas.
be
El último tiempo de vuelta ha sido 1 minuto
Not enough to warrant a pit
34,0.
stop.
Tiene una penalización de tiempo de 3,0.
but it is now on the tail end of the lead lap. Going around the 17 laps remaining.
Cuidado.
Well, Ben, a 7/10 of a second lead over Hector. 1 lap fresher tires than Hector. 45 seconds back off the race lead. 2 lap fresher tires than second place. Ryan really wanting it to start pouring soon so he can go straight from mediums to inners. We're on fresher mediums by 11 laps fresher. Let's start piling on the pressure. Now have a lap car. He's gonna have to time this move. Timed it beautifully to the left side. A 3-second penalty for David. Multiple warnings. Malico up on the lapper. He'll go flying through 130R. But he'll have a go at Ryan in the coming lap. Ryan into the pit lane. He's probably going to fit a set of socks as it's beginning to rain, but not going to be enough to put on enters. That is what he's doing. He's putting on a set of socks. That pass, I heard. Almost made it.
El coche de delante va muy lejos. A 9,4
So now
segundos.
Malico and Borth will be able to duke it out for the 6th
Seguirá
position.
chispeando otros 20 minutos como mínimo. Los ecos son los mejores neumáticos por ahora.
Many things in Dan, up to 8th and 9th. Ryan comes out to 10th position as it begins to rain now. He can feel free to use up those soft tires as he's probably going to, as the track will become wet the coming laps. Luis has already fitted the wet tires. He's going to heat those bad boys right up. The wet tires, did not stutter. And Hector was right on the gearbox of the Williams. He's got to think about this as he'll start to lose grip on these slick tires. What kind of a go will he have at Ben, and how hard can he drive it into these corners without making contact with the Williams?
Ahora estás entre los 10 mejores. Sigue así.
It is definitely raining here at Suzuka, but when does the track become wet enough? When is there standing water and puddles for these drivers to be forced to come in the fit intermediates? A lap ago. Yeah, Luis, he's going on
Estamos
that
contentos con el
strategy.
aspecto de los neumáticos. Aguantarán bastante, así que no te
I was
preocupes
going
por
to say that
ellos.
Ferrari strategy from Malaysia a few years back. I think Raikkonen. Oh, not.
Tienen medios desgastados.
Yeah,
Los
Luis on that
neumáticos
Kimi
llevan
Raikkonen
7 vueltas.
strategy.
El último tiempo de vuelta ha sido 1:32,9. Te estás dejando 7 décimas por vuelta. El coche que llevamos delante nos saca
As Malico's trying to take
10,8
6th
segundos.
away. Maybe Ryan's trying to get 8th on fresher and softer tires before the rain starts pouring. And Hector trying to get the race lead. Not able to have a go yet. Ben holding his own on a slowly losing grip racing surface. So the one thing now is to
Ruedas a 10 segundos del coche que te precede.
now the goal is, as drivers, to not wreck the car before it is time to pit in that transition period. Larry giving way to
Tienen
Steven.
blandos
Steven up to
recién
13.
puestos. Los neumáticos llevan 2 vueltas. El último tiempo de vuelta ha sido 1 minuto 34,0.
Starting to see a little bit of water on the track, but is it enough to warrant pit stops? We'll see.
Bandera amarilla. Se ha salido. Tienen medios desgastados. Los neumáticos llevan 8 vueltas. El último tiempo de vuelta ha sido 1:33,6.
And yeah, how about the Alfa Romeo of Dan and the McLaren of Brian on 19 lap old mediums, saving a pit stop, and still one barely in points and the other outside of points. Steven piling on the pressure on Brian. Pillars back into the session and regains control of the Ferrari as Luis in the racing point is slow on the front straightaway on those heavy wets. Kimi Räikkönen strategy paid off big time for Racing Point.
Por ahora creo que vamos bien con estas gomas.
Dan into the pit lane, 20 lap old mediums. There'll be a set of inters. Now his goal is to not heat those up. Malenko on Foursquare, side by side as they head through turn 12. Malenko right on the quarter panel. Foursquare trying to give him room, but trying to be defensive. Malenko up the inside in the spoon. How hard does he push it? Slipping and sliding. Through spoon, Malenko up to 6th. Pillars is back in the Ferrari, so they're going to have to try even harder if they're going to get to the top 5. As the leader's negotiating heavy lap traffic right now. Oh, and Ben goes around! Sliding still. Maybe it's time for some wet tires. A 3-second time penalty for many things, for multiple warnings.
Quedan unas 5 vueltas de combustible. Va a seguir chispeando un rato. Los ecos parecen los neumáticos más rápidos ahora.
So now up to 11th place is on the lead. Everybody in the top 11 is on the lead lap. And Steven right ahead of the leaders. As Brian and Larry have been lapped along with Dan on a pit stop. Dan a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Many things now tries to hold off Ryan. Again, pressure stops Ryan, but the track quickly becoming a swimming pool.
Cuidado, cuidado.
Oh, and Larry has broken the front wing. And a 3-second time penalty for Brian. From multiple warnings, he's making contact with Troy.
Bandera verde.
Out of the top 10 are the only drivers on the lead lap, and Luis gets his first 3-second time penalty of the day, 5 laps down. Again, Ryan trying to pile on the pressure on many things. Now the question becomes, do these guys even pit, even if it becomes wet enough because of how few laps there are left in the race? So these guys on old mediums, on a track that's slightly becoming wet, and duking it out for the race lead, 18 seconds ahead of Troy now. Troy just trying to fend off Rolo if he doesn't have to pit. They'll be coming around to 3 laps remaining in the Japanese Grand Prix, this time by Larry into the pit lane. Larry fits a set of softs. He doesn't believe it's going to be wet enough. But Colton's fit a set of intermediates.
Quedan unas 3 vueltas de combustible.
That guy went on the wrong tires.
Oh yeah, the wet tires. Yeah, bullshit. Went on that a while ago. Around at 3. Those wets have to be cooked by now.
Llevas un ritmo sensacional, pero ten en cuenta que debes aguantar con estos neumáticos hasta el final.
They're only 2 laps old, but anyway, Hector.
Sorry. Sorry, many teams.
3-second time penalty for the Mercedes and Colton for corner cutting. As Dan has come to a complete stop in the chicane and is heading into the pit lane now, probably to fit a set of dry tires. And 5-second penalty for Freddie, ignoring blue flags. Probably just in the midst of traffic now, not really easy to do. Also racing Larry for position. Coming around to 2 laps to go. Now is the point where I don't think anybody will pit if it becomes wet enough. There's no advantage. So now it's all Ben and Hector going at it with 2 laps to go here at the SUZUkA circuit. Taking the IndyCar line down the front straightaway. Hector, a nice block, entering turn 1 on Ben, forcing him to hit the brakes. Luis giving way to the leaders. 5-lap-old wets for Luis. Ben got into gravel. He's got to re-gather it. He's still got a lap and a half to go. Gapped up to a second. Losing grip quickly on this track.
Tienen medios desgastados. Los neumáticos llevan 14
The next thing is, can Hector keep his car under control?
36,3. Estás arañando 3 décimas por vuelta. Buen trabajo.
Coming up to 130R. Hector, the Alfa Romeo. Ben in the Williams.
Bandera verde.
Troy trying to fend off Rolo for 3rd. The final lap here at Suzuka. Does Ben have anything 0.8 of a second back? A wet racetrack? Who can keep their car in between the white lines? Three-second time penalty for Rolo for multiple warnings. That pretty much eases that battle for third. Here comes Ben, closing the gap, down to half a second, and continuing to close on Hector. All over the gearbox now, half a lap to go here at Suzuka. He is there. The current points leader and last season's champion going at it through turn 10, nose to tail on the final lap here at Japan. A 3-second time penalty for Dan for multiple warnings. Ben is there, piling on the pressure, looking to the inside. It's Bruno, they make contact. Hector came across the nose of Ben. And back contact, provided Ben can make it through 130 on the chicane, is enough to secure the win for Ben through the final corner. Ben is going to win here at Suzuka, but not without a little bit of contact on the final lap. Here comes Hector for second. Troy fouling Rolo to the line for third. He's got to keep the car under control, and he's got the position either way. Going at it, the Mercedes into Renault. Rolo losing control. It's going to be Troy in third over Rolo in fourth. Here comes Pillars into the chicane. He'll come through the final corner. Pillars will come home fifth. About Malico in for Markle. We'll get another points paying position for Markle up to fifth because Pillars have time penalties. Here comes Foursquare for seventh.
I'm on praise you didn't take me out there. I saw you coming. Good job.
Here goes Many Things through the final corner. He'll come home eighth over Ryan. Ryan goes to eighth because Many Things had time penalties. A lot of changing for position because of penalties. We'll see if any are disputed in post-race.
Let's see where I finished.
And an unserved penalty. A lot of penalties here in the last sector. Have a Octane, a top 10 in the Haas. Nice job able to squeeze out some points. And a 5-second time penalty for Octane for an unserved penalty. Oh, that's going to do it here in Japan. Wild race. Ooh, the podium did not come without controversy. And magically the track is dry on the podium. Let's see what kind of interviews we can get. Next week we are at Bahrain, so that should be fun. 3-second time penalty for Hector, also there at the end. Troy third. There's the results. Take a look at those down the order as well. A lot of time penalties further down the order. Unserved time penalties back there as well. Taking a look at an incident report now. Got a lot to go through here. An illegal time game on Many Things, Luis, as well. My goodness, just a wild, wild race. Ben, what mic are you using?
Okay, Emerson, I must to go. See you next race.
Alright. Thank you for showing up. Oh. The whole time? Alright, was that on purpose? Okay. Alright. Well, we'll get some interviews in. The podium wants to share their voice.
Alright, guys, thank
Thank you for showing up, man. Alright. Top 3 on out. Should you want to be heard on your post-race interview? You go to party setting. Alright. Party settings, and then allow your voice to be shared. You can allow for this party, or if you always allow, that's all. Alright, but let's get with it with our third place finisher, driver of the Mercedes, Troy. Wild battle there with Rollo at the end. How was that?
The inside on a corner where you really can't overtake on the inside, and he broke on the racing line, as did I, and didn't slow down.
Oof.
He was fucking us up too.
Good to know. Good to know.
So racing today, Ben, Hector, Pillars, Rollo. Again, where did you think you actually ranked up compared to where you ended up finishing against the top 5 and the rest of the grid, in terms of the speed and the lap times you were able to set?
I reckon I could have. Even if I had stayed up with Ben and Zesty and all that, I probably would have lost second to Zesty at some point anyway. I mean, honestly, I probably shouldn't have stayed out a couple laps longer than Zesty. But yeah, either way, I'm happy with the podium.
Right. Well, congratulations on the third place finish. 4th podium out of 4 Grand Prix on the season. Very consistent. And that Mercedes sure does look like it belongs up front. Good luck to you in Bahrain.
Thank you.
All right, we're joined by our 2nd place finisher, Hector. So how was your last lap?
Honestly, it was all pretty decent. Besides, really, I think it could have been a little bit better, just because throughout the race there could have been a little bit more aggression from my side. So, and also, like, I'm not really used to some of the, I guess I would say, corner cutting, because on strict rules it's a lot more stringent on these things, obviously. So, but besides that, I did have a lot more pace. Fastest lap after fastest lap in practices with both soft and medium, so consistency and speed was most definitely there, and I felt like I could have, if I built the gap in the first and second stint with a little bit more aggression on the overtakes, I probably wouldn't have had that issue. But it's whatever. At the end of the day, it's only the 4th round. Championships are like 21 races, and 6 points or whatever it is isn't really going to hurt too much.
Right. Yeah, if we had strict corner cutting, half the field would be disqualified. That's just how it is. So I think we were able to keep our field size with that. But walk us through that last lap incident, coming up the spoon, Ben behind you. What's your thoughts before the contact happens? And then your exclamation right after that happens seemed pretty evident, but what are your thoughts after that as well?
I was just trying to keep it composed on the last lap, because the way I think about it is just try to keep it in one piece towards, especially towards the end, because there's no need to push, there's no need to kind of race to save your life, really. So yeah, just aiming for consistent points. I don't want to slip up, lose traction, especially in the wet. It's a lot more risky in the wet. But yeah, if I didn't have a good run, just because I just don't have a good enough traction when it's a little bit more on inclement conditions and I'm on the wheel. So yeah, that's what allowed Ben to really inch up with a higher ERS and probably fuel. But yeah, no, I don't know really what to say towards the entry of Spoon. Just tried to, because I saw he was inching up on the mirrors, but at the end of the day, I really didn't make much of it. Yeah, it's really infuriating in the beginning because like you're feeling the I guess love tap, but yeah.
Right. I'm glad that you hold yourself to a very high standard as you do week in, week out. Again, you think of a big picture, which is also a good thing in terms of actually going for a championship. So I believe if you got second at Hungary, or you got a podium, you're looking pretty good with a bunch of first and second place finishes right off the bat here this season. What are you looking at further on? Actually, you ended up getting fourth at Hungary, but still top fives across the season thus far. Do you think you can maintain that level of consistency?
Yeah, I have no doubt in the speed and the pace right now I have compared to the rest of the field. Pretty comfortable size, especially with tire wear, considering unfortunately most of the people here are on controller. So towards the end of the stint, after I get the middle part of the stint, I'm able to extend my gap, sometimes go fast lap after fast lap because of the consistency. So I have no doubt in the pace just being there. I do expect people to close up towards like later on, obviously, especially in the next season. I don't expect anybody to stay complacent, but yeah, I don't have any doubt in pace at all.
So going back to the race, and because you were speaking about pace, what do you think your pace was compared to Ben and Troy and Rolo?
With a really good start,
and Pillars.
Pulled away without a doubt. Pulled away at least 5 cents a lap. So I knew my only issue was on the last corner. I guess you can really cut that corner, so I wasn't getting a good enough exit. But yeah, I would have, if I was in the lead, I would have pulled away at least 5/10 a lap, at least. And that's with or without pushing my ERS. So.
All right, sorry, my microphone came unplugged. All right, well, congratulations on the second place finish, a hard-fought race, and good luck to you next week in Secure.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, and we're joined by our race winner, Ben, back at it again with a race win. It took you a little bit in this season, but got her done. How does this one feel? I believe this this ties you with me on the wins list. So how does that feel as well?
Yeah, it feels good. Finally, to get to be able to be with the front pack feels good. Hungary was unfortunate, and Russia I was running with them, but I got a penalty, and I don't know what I have. Russia, they pulled away. Troy and Zesty pulled away from me, and then I missed last week, unfortunately.
But good thing that looks like that's sorted out, right?
I think so.
It looked like a lot better this week, trying to get into the lobby. All right, so now about the race. Before we get to the last lap, where did you think you ranked up with Troy and Zesty, Rolo, and Pillars?
I mean, I ran a lot of laps this week with Zesty, and consistently could keep with him. He's pretty. I think I could have kept up a little bit. And Troy was right behind me, so I don't know. I was 1/10 of a second off of the pole. So.
Right, yeah, you were. It was a 0.4 to a 0.5 in qualifying. So wild race. Kind of talked to just before also the last lap, just battling with Hector and Troy in the early parts of the race, but Hector the entire Grand Prix, it looked like you couldn't get separated from him.
I was just trying to run my line. I know he's a clean racer, and I didn't think he would run into me, which I was right, and I didn't mean to run into him. It was just unfortunate. I would have finished second, no problem, but I had a massive run, and the door shut before I could react.
All right, do you
And
think
if I would have slammed on the brakes, I might have spun out too. I don't know.
Yeah, just for the record, if you did hit me, I didn't notice. So you got that going for you.
I hit Zesty on the final lap.
Oh, okay.
Bumped him out of the way. It was like a bump and run, NASCAR style, but it was unintentional.
yeah, I was gonna say, what do you think that incident was more on the closing rate or last lap, like aggression, trying to block and trying to get to his inside and stuff like that, or?
I don't know how aggressively he was trying to block. He moved over a little bit before he would normally move over, I believe, but it wasn't that much, and I just had a massive closing rate. I probably would have wrecked if he wasn't there.
All right. Well, you finally got yourself one of these. Now, how does this kind of feel? You're fired to get on with it this season. Right now, you are set 4th in points behind Hector, Pillars, Troy. I haven't done points after tonight's race, but you're up there. And how does this kind of feel the rest of your season?
I'm just gonna try to keep up pace with Zesty and Pro and Pillars.
Right.
I would enjoy running close championship the whole time, and I think it can be based on the first 4 races.
Yeah, it is looking pretty tight up at the front of the points table. Yeah, congratulations on your first win of the season, but more importantly, your 22nd win in the league, tying yours truly on the wins list. With no doubt, you'll probably probably pass and continue on from my total on the wins list. I can only do so much in Project Cars, so that doesn't look to be a factor later. So good luck to you there, and congrats on tying me.
Thanks.
And good luck to you at Bahrain.
Thank you.
All right, well, that's going to do it here from Japan. Next week, we are at SUZUka Bahrain. I like this slightly earlier start time by about 5 minutes, Gets a little bit more time here at the end of the stream to kind of wrap things up. Not that we're on any time crunch or anything. But again, great racing, especially for the lead. All Grand Prix, long, wild race. Today was the story of the mystery radar gun at the pit entry because nobody could make pit road speed, it seemed about. And also corner cutting. Yeah, if it was strict, half the field wouldn't finish. But most of us did end up finishing, and I guess that's all we can ask for. Great racing and a great sized grid, great battles up and down the running order. Again, thankful for everybody who showed up, and thankful for everybody for racing so hard. And yeah, that's going to do it here at Japan. Make sure, again, you stay inside, stay safe. There's light at the end of the tunnel, you guys. We can fight this thing. And I hope you just continue to stick it out with us here. Sunday nights for F1. Next week we'll be at SUZUka Bahrain at the Bahrain International Circuit. Make sure you tune in about 40 minutes to an hour's length. We'll have a NASCAR Heat 4 League race in that time frame. So until then, I'm Emerson, and I will see y'all next Sunday.
Bye, everybody.
All right. Sweet deal.
And we're clear.
Yep.
Good race, guys.
Yeah.
Yep. That was fun.
Sure if I'd pitted a couple laps earlier.
Yeah, you lost like 5 seconds in pits.
I did. I can't complain about it, though. Still good.
So some